Hello everyone, Coach Jimmy K here with another installment of the Sedona Pro and Pro Plus PEMF with Franz Zock. Franz is the owner, engineer, developer, the main man behind SedonaWellness.com and this revolutionary PEMF system. And what we wanted to do today is kind of introduce it to you. I've got some pictures in a PowerPoint presentation, and then we're going to show you the different programs that are there, and then let Franz walk you through it. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with the Sedona Pro or the Pro Plus PEMF Wellness System, here's the pictures. Of course, you've got the controller, you've got the mat. The mat comes in a beige color and a dark gray color. Okay, it's absolutely beautiful. Then here we have the controller, the control module. Franz, you've absolutely outdone yourself. I love the clean design of the controller, the touch screen controls. Tell us about the thought process that you went through and why you wanted to offer it like this.
Well, the main reason I launched this product 2 years ago, after being for like more than 25 years manufacturing and distributing PEMF devices, was that I have built a unit which is like 2-in-1. So as you can see on the right picture, the two outlets from the control unit, so which means we can use two applicators simultaneously with different programs, because we have two different softwares working within the one unit. So actually, this was actually the main idea, because more and more physicians buy the units now. A lot of my physicians, my older clients, they said, okay, perfect, I need a second, a third, a fourth unit. And believe it or not, we have a few clinics in Europe where I have 5 or more units in there. So I said, okay, why not saving them money and say, okay, we can actually have two clients using the device at the same time with different programs. But not only for the physicians, also I had people talking at home, oh, I can't believe it, we're fighting, in the evening when we get home from work, my husband wants to lay on the same time on the mat like I do. So I said, okay, another reason why we can have two clients laying on the same time, either using one the mat or the other one the pillow. And what's happening is now is more and more, especially physicians, they purchase an extra mat so they can actually have two clients, two patients laying on a mat at the same time with different programs. The other thing I definitely would like the upgrade is the touchscreen. I mean, even 70, 80, 90-year-old people, they have like their smartphones. They know how to use the touchscreen, which we see on the next picture. And I wanted to keep it clear. It's a nice bigger touchscreen that they can see, okay, what's happening. What we see now on this picture here, we have on the top left, we can see the wellness section. So we created 3 different sections: the relax section, the wellness section, and the sports section. The relax section is basically for very sensitive clients, and I always say clients and not patients, because it's very delicate. So these sensitive clients, they mostly start out with the relax settings, because they are set with a 10% intensity, which we can see here on the wellness. We have the intensity mostly set with 100%. And the sensitive clients are mostly, as I said, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Lyme's disease, neuropathy, so anything with nerve disease or neurological diseases. And the wellness section is mostly for general health, arthritis, sports injuries. We even start with the wellness section. The sports section basically is mostly for athletes. They want to be ready and fit again, and that's where we have the strongest programs.
Excellent, excellent. So, and then right here, now, this is one of my favorite features that you offer in the system, the Infinity program. Other PEMF mats that are on the market are limited to 8-minute programs, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. But with the Sedona Pro PEMF system, If someone wants to sleep on the mat all night long or use the pillow for targeted therapy, they can actually set the time from 10 minutes to 10 hours or whatever. Infinity means it will continue running continuous, correct?
It will run forever until you stop the unit.
I mean, so why would anyone ever consider anything else? Franz, tell us about the Infinity feature and how it can be used.
Yeah, the Infinity feature, we had it since the very beginning, I think for 28 years, was very popular because when I started 28 years ago, it was mostly hospitals and clinics and doctors' offices purchasing our devices. So, and of course, sometimes the nurses, they got lazy, they turned on the unit in the morning, they chose the one program for most of the people used for the beginning, they started it and they started Infinity, so they just had a timer next to it. When 30 minutes were over, the timer was beeping, patient off, patient on. So this was a comfort for the assistance from the doctors. The other reason was actually to sleep on the mat overnight. And the reason is, and people love it now, especially lately in the last few years, where we got EMF coming up with the 3G, 4G, and the God forbid 5G is sadly coming soon, that not only you have a treatment all night long, so your body gets the energy what it needs. And we need the energy like water, like food. People don't understand it. We cannot live without the magnetic field. We wouldn't exist here, not humans, not planets, and no animals. So we get the PEMF energy all night long, plus it absorbs the EMF. That's another thing. So it blocks EMF, and we have EMF, we're surrounded by EMF through Wi-Fi routers, through cell phone towers, through smart meters, yeah? We're basically surrounded. So it actually does two things at the same time overnight. And the feedback from my clients is fantastic because, after a few days, they call me and say, Franz, I never slept this good before, ever. And the main thing is they are in the deep sleeping stage, in the theta stage. And that's actually the stage where your body is resting and relaxing and healing. Yeah. Most people, they sleep 8-9 hours. They get up in the morning and they're tired. They never get to the theta stage. Yeah. They never heal. And that's why actually diseases come up, not only from, all the EMF, or also from the chemicals in the food. They actually come up because of lack of healthy sleep.
Wow, man, that's
so
now. So now, before we go into these next few slides, I want to tell you, friends, this is where the rubber meets the road, and the possibilities are absolutely endless. Now, I personally, through the years, I've been doing the Skinar technology for about 9 years. Yep. So Franz has about 3 times the experience and years in that I have.
No, not really. 3 years of training, but this was enough.
Yeah, okay. So, but I personally, through the years, I test, I buy these. I personally own over $30,000 worth of PMF systems, ranging from handheld wands, belts, the All-Mag out of Russia, coils, mats, and from my experience, they offer anywhere between 1 to 6 programs, and most of them are preset. Now, they offer 1 or maybe 2 types of waveforms, but from talking with Franz earlier, most of them only offer 1 waveform. I'm going to have Franz walk us through the 3 different programs, and just to show you, this is amazing. Okay, so when we go to the Relax, this is the Relax program. Yeah. So each one has what, 12 settings, Franz?
Yes.
This is, I mean, and you can see there 1 hertz, 1 to 3 hertz, and of course all of these are 30-minute, time, but now you can switch the 30-minute if you want to an hour, 2 or 3 hours, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
And as we see on the screen, sorry to interrupt you, we have program number 8. You saw the sawtooth waveform. We also go only with 8 minutes because it is an aggressive waveform, yeah? But again, we have the 0.1 hertz in this sawtooth waveform. So it's actually, we kept it very low.
Now something that you educated me on, and I didn't really understand this till you explained it, the program 3, 4, and 5, you have the in, and can you explain the negative and positive there?
What we have, and that's what I'm very proud of, that we are the only unit on the market which not only can go positive and negative field at the same time, but we also can separate the negative and the positive field. So this means when I choose program 3 or 4 or 5 in the relaxed setting, and or for example program 3 in the wellness setting, we separate the polarization. This means from one side of the mat or one side of the pillow, you know, we're creating the negative field. On the other side of the mat or the pillow, we have the positive field, yeah? And especially where with very sick people, we're using we want to treat only with the negative field, yeah, because the positive is a little bit more aggressive than the negative. So we separate it, and we want to charge the body with the negative magnetic field, yeah. And that's where we really, especially in the beginning, in the first few days or first couple of weeks, we see tremendous changes in the condition of the clients.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, we go to the wellness here, and you can see the intensity. And then, of course, on the third program, we also have the negative and positive annotation there. Explain. So this, if you could walk through the settings as far as, you know, you don't have to go through each one of them, but let's just say we know the Schumann 7.83.
Yeah.
Let's say 1, 2, and 3, those 3 programs, what would they be mostly used for in wellness?
Yeah. Program 1 and program 2 definitely for sleep. So if people, before they go to bed or after a couple of weeks when they decide to place their mat into their bedroom, into their bed, that's other programs we're using in the beginning, 1 and 2. And that's what they mostly use for sleep. Also, mostly we start out with program number 3, where you see the intensity goes up and down from 50 to 100%. The frequency goes from 1 to 5 hertz, and we separate the polarization. Because we don't muscle test or do kinesiology with most of the people, and most of the people that don't do it at home, we have these programs for different frequency ranges. So this means when I start with Wellness 3, I have them in a frequency range from 1 to 5 hertz. So I'm positive I click on the right frequency, what they need in the beginning. And that's actually the very common, our most famous program is Wellness 3 to start with. And then if we see the first positive reaction, we also add on the Schumann frequency, which is then program number 4. And then further down, you see, for example, number 10, Wellness number 10 is, for example, a fantastic program. We use it mostly in the morning when people wake up. We want to get them going. So this means we bring them, you know, the brain frequency, everything, your body is, you know, it's like warming up in before a sports activity. So your body is already ready to go active, and it gives it energy. Yeah? And the other one I like a lot is the 8 hertz frequency, program 8 with the 25 hertz frequency. We use it mostly if people are working. This means they use a pillow applicator. They have it either below their back, and the pillow applicator, it fills out the whole room with the energy. So we use a 25 hertz because a 25 hertz frequency in the brain, the brain absorbs most information when it has when it works on 25 hertz frequency. So that's why once we start the machine, within minutes, the brain, adjusts to the 25 hertz. And we have the cases that a lot of people work at home. They use this frequency while they're working on their laptop. We have more and more students now. We have parents calling me, perfect, my children are using the machine now while they're learning, and they pick up and, they restore the information much more than usual.
Wonderful. Now I see that we have in number 5 and number 9, we have the rectangular.
Correct. Yeah, we have the rectangular one because, as I said, we add the rectangular sometimes on what we have on number basically the number 9 we add it on sometimes to the sine wave. Yeah, so we mix it up, and as I said, if we have arthritis, we use a rectangular waveform for these chronic things.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, for the athletes or the active people out there, you've got, I guess that's why you call it sport. Why do you call this program sport?
Basically, acute injuries occur through sport activity. And these are the programs we mostly use for acute injuries, especially the high ones, where we see number 8 and number 9 with the 1,500 hertz or 5 to 15,000 hertz. And that's actually where we want to, if you have an inflammation, we want to go with the highest frequency possible, with the highest intensity possible. And that's why sometimes for these sports people, when they have an acute injury and I treat them with these programs, in the beginning, they get slightly more pain. Yeah, it's uncomfortable for them. And some of them start crying. But at the end of the 30 minutes, I add on program 1 or program 2 to relieve them, to relax them. And within minutes, the pain is gone. But we want to activate it. And we want to have the lymph blockages not closing. So we want to keep them open.
All right. Wonderful. Yep. So now, whenever they're using, you know, as we showed you in the beginning, the picture, you have the mat and you have the pillow. Now, what amazes me is the pillow weighs about 8 or 9 pounds. That's a lot of copper in a pillow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and you were telling me what the Gauss on the mat is what, and the Gauss on the pillow is what?
Yeah, the Gauss on the mat is 32 Gauss, and the Gauss on the pillow is 100 Gauss. So we need 8.5 pounds copper to create an intensity of 100 Gauss. So the funny story is sometimes people call me, Franz, today I had a client, he said, I have this unit, they have 200 Gauss, so I think that's a better unit. I said, well, if you think so, go ahead and buy it. But take a look at the applicator. How heavy is the applicator? So it has to have at least 17 pounds. And we have now the high-powered units out there with 5,000 Gauss, 10,000 Gauss. I'm talking about pure magnetic field, what we are having, yeah? And of course, the higher the frequency, even our product is losing a little bit of the intensity, yeah?
Right.
And that's why we are very proud, as I said, especially I'm proud of because I increased the frequency to 15,000 hertz because especially for acute injuries, acute problems, we need the highest frequency possible. And also later on when we do have like bacterial and virus diseases or Lyme's, in the beginning we start low frequencies. The moment we get rid of the symptoms, this doesn't mean that you heal from Lyme's. It might be still in your body, and then basically we attack the virus.
So the higher frequency is going to nullify the parasite or so it's going to zap it pretty much.
Exactly, exactly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, the next slide, now this is just absolutely amazing. We promised that we would save the best for last, and the ultimate custom program now available with the new Sedona Pro Plus. Franz, tell everyone what they can do with this custom program. Now, it's similar to it's a custom program, and how many settings can they set?
In the custom setting, we have also 12 different possibilities actually to choose your own customized 12 programs, and you can save them and you can delete them anytime you want. The reason we created these is because we have now more and more physicians, naturopaths purchasing the device, and they do the pendular, they do kinesiology, they do muscle testing. So they want to create specific and their own designed programs for their patients or even for themselves. And they are very, I just added on this feature like a couple of months ago. Actually, the new unit's coming out in the 2 weeks probably. But I have since 2 or 3 months, I'm getting orders already in pre-sale. Hundreds of these naturopaths and physicians, they are jumping on this program there. Even for private people, it's nice because they say, okay, perfect. I felt well on this one. I want to create my own program. So it's always good to have, yeah. Again, it's their choice, but mostly for physicians and naturopaths, it's a fantastic tool.
Now, once again, everyone, I'd like to thank Franz for taking time out of his busy schedule. Believe me, now everyone knows me. I'm like 16, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. And Franz and I are playing phone tag, email, text. I mean, we're trying to get together our schedules so that we can do these videos for you. And what our ultimate objective is to educate you. Okay, number one, educate you and give you the best customer service, because you know people don't care how much you know until they know that you care. Okay, and Franz has been doing it almost 30 years now, and he has created, I mean, he has people, practitioners, professional athletes, sports teams, doctors, clinics, everything, all around the world. And all. So that's what we're trying to do. Any last thoughts that you have, Franz?
No, I think we explained a lot today, and hopefully more of these interviews are coming, because I said educating is the most important thing, Jimmy, and I'm happy every time, especially talking to a knowledge guy like you, because when I talked to you the first time, I realized already, oops, there's a guy, he knows what's going on, especially you had a scanner training, and I was happy about that, because, you know, it's also a nice tool. Again, always nice talking to you, Jimmy, and looking forward to the future.
All right. Thanks so much. So listen, don't forget, everyone, subscribe to our channel, and that way, whenever we release these new videos, you're going to be the first to know about it. You can click on, watch the video, and enlighten yourself on the new things that are coming down the road. So keep in touch. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and have a blessed week. All right. Bye-bye. See you, Franz.
Bye-bye. Bye.